job.
What's up, YouTube? Today, we are going to be talking about footbeds, but more specifically, we're going to be talking about the FP insoles footbeds and how they handle for aggressive inline skating. I have been skating the Rossi's Fifth Elements as well as my new Razors SLs, and I also did try them in the standard skates and a little bit in the T-neck skate. Not too much in the T-neck skate, but those are kind of the three skates I use them in. But anyway, so Joey Brzezinski, he was a professional skateboarder, and now he started this shoe and footbed company for skateboarding, actually. But he hooked me up with a free pair of these to review. I just want to say shout out to FP Insoles for being a skateboard company that gave a rollerblade kid with a YouTube channel a product to review. That is really awesome. I think that's a sign things are going in the right direction. Not very many skateboard companies mess with rollerblading like that. So thank you, Joey, and thank you, FP. And because they supported my channel and me with the free pair of the, forgot which ones these are called. I think the Game Changers is what, no, these ones are the Game Changers. So because they gave me these ones, which is like their Ultra Cush ones, I went and bought a pair of the Heat Moldable Game Changers ones. And then I also have a pair of just these really generic, like thin ones, but that are made out of their shock absorbing. These ones are super thin and flat, really basic. Because I wanted to do as in-depth of a review as possible and even compare them. And so I'm also going to be comparing those three FP products against this is just a custom orthotic made for my ski boots that I've also used for skating before. It's okay. And then I also have just the stock footbed that comes in the Rain V3 liners, which for a stock footbed, I actually like it a lot. I use this probably the most. But anyways, so let's go ahead and get into it. So, as you saw in the footage, all the footage I posted before is of me skating one of, if or both of these footbeds in several different skates. And yeah, let's talk about it. So in shoes, these are really awesome. The kind of Ultra Cush Pros. I don't think that's the right word though. I'll leave the name of this actual product in the description below. But in shoes, these were awesome. In the liner inside the skates are a little different than shoes. They don't stretch or have as much give because it's like a plastic boot. These felt a little thick, and I got a lot of hot spots because there just wasn't enough volume. But one thing I did on one of the sessions was I actually took the footbed out of the liner and I put this under the liner, and that gave me a little more room, and I was still able to enjoy the shock absorption properties of it, and it still skated pretty good, and I liked it. And the shock absorption works. It was cool. In my Fifth Elements, normally my heels get really fatigued, and with this shock absorber in there, the shock absorbing footbed in there, my feet felt a lot happier. So for the Fifth Elements, it's great because the Fifth Elements also have a lot of volume. So this filled up space and actually made it feel a little snugger. In some of the other skates, though, I wouldn't recommend it. It was just too tight. It gave me hot spots, and overall, I think it's just a little too thick for inline skates because of the plastic shells. It just takes up all the extra space and kind of hurts your feet. And then that brings me to these ones, which are heat moldable. You put them in the oven for like 5 minutes, pop them in your shoe or skate, and then tie them up. And these are awesome. I think this is, in my opinion, for inline skating, these are the best product from FP for inline skating. They work great. You just pop them in the liner, but still a little too thick in some skates. Like in my Razors, they still made my feet fall asleep and kind of hurt. In the Fifth Elements, though, they were awesome. With the blank liner or a Rain V3 in the Fifth Elements, these feel really, really good. And then the other one the FP makes is, they have different thicknesses of this, but this is just a generic shock absorbing material. I think this is really awesome for just, you can put a normal stock footbed that just comes with your liner in your liner, and then this is thin enough you can put it under your liner, and it adds extra shock absorption, and it's just, yeah, it just gives you like a little extra, and it's awesome. I don't know that I would use this as my sole and only footbed. There's not a lot of support going on. It doesn't hold your heel. There's no arch or anything, but I think it has a place, and I think it's really good for putting under your liner, shock absorption, or even just protecting your feet from the bolts. It's really tough material, and it can handle a lot of beating. I will say this though, the Game Changers one that's heat moldable doesn't seem to be as temperature reactive, and even the orange one, I believe they've fixed a little bit, but with these ones, this was one of the first runs of the FP, I believe. When it's cold, this gets really stiff and hard, and I feel like the shock absorption properties or things that it's marketed for, I don't know that it doesn't feel good. It feels kind of like you just shoved a stiff piece of plastic under there. But now that it's summer in the warmer months, this is really awesome to have kind of extra padding under your foot, and the shock absorption does work. It does help fatigue on your feet. And yeah, that just brings me to, we'll talk about, so this is just a stock like Razors or Rain footbed, and I love it. I think if FP were to make something kind of a little more streamlined and thin like this, but with their shock absorption material and then just a little arch support out of plastic. So basically, if you took this arch support out of plastic and then used your in-shocked material with a thin thing, because this is about the same thickness, you used this and then the plastic from this and put it together, I think you'd have like a perfect inline skating product for like a shock absorbing footbed. So yeah, you should think about that, FP. That would be sick. But yeah, I'm probably gonna keep using the generic one just because the really fancy FP ones are they're just a little too thick and a little cumbersome for plastic shelled skates. And even this is like a custom footbed. It's supposed to help with heel lock. This is awful, actually. Like, I tried using it for skating, and it was made for skiing. It doesn't even really feel good in my ski boots either. And it's just like, there's no shock absorption. If anything, it's like a shock enhancer for like response, but it's a $200 footbed. Luckily, I didn't pay that because I was working in the ski industry at the time, but a $200 product, and it was awful. So I'd say compared to like a $200 custom product, the like $45, $50 at-home customizable FP is a way better option in my opinion. And I know a lot of skiers and snowboarders use this as well. And for rollerblading, if you have a thinner foot, this is gonna be money. And in some of the more high volume skates, like the Fifth Element and even the SL, this did work. But I have really like chunky, thick feet, so I'm kind of picky. I like thinner footbeds. But yeah, that's some information about the FP footbeds. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed some of the clips of the skating, and again, shout out FP. Thank you for sending me that pair of shock absorption footbeds, and I hope this was helpful. And if you do get into the inline market, I hope that you consider some of the information I gave you. Thanks for watching, everybody, and always make sure to please like, share, and subscribe. Have a good one.